I'm going to show you a pharmacy example solution. This one shows you how you can report on prescription issues using Aquima. So I'm going to talk you through a storyboard to demonstrate our case, and just our characters within the storyboard. So first off, we have Kathy, who's a customer, Joe, who's a junior pharmacist, Adele, who's a front office employee, and Jane, who's a management secretary. So case 1, where we have an incorrect medicine that was dispensed to the client. So Kathy has the flu and she goes to the GP to get a prescription. Kathy then goes to the pharmacy to buy the prescription, and the pharmacist dispenses the prescription prescribed to her, the medicine prescribed to her. Kathy then returns home and feels a serious headache coming on after 2 days, and wonders if she's been given the wrong medicine and may be a mistake. Kathy then checks out the pharmacy website to find out more information, but unfortunately Kathy cannot find information on this website and decides to call the number on the website instead. And when she calls, Joe is the junior pharmacist who takes Kathy's call. Joe is able to see the information on Kathy and pulls up prescription history on the system, and discovers that the medicine prescribed does not actually appear in the history, and presumes that there's a wrong medicine that was dispensed to her. So Joe informs Kathy that a mistake has been made and it can be taken care of, so a new medicine can be just delivered to her as soon as possible, and then asks whether she wants to complain or not. Kathy, in this case, would like to file a complaint, so Joe pulls up a complaint form which is pre-populated and has the data from Kathy's profile. From there, he can send automated emails to the pharmacy and to the customer as well. And also, a log of Kathy's call and complaint are saved in the system. And in this situation, we find that this particular medicine has had several issues like this, so it's an email is also sent to risk management to investigate. So that's case number 1. We can have similar cases where we can have an incorrect medicine that was nearly dispensed to the client as well. So we can now go into Aquima, and I'll show you how this was built. So we into interactions, and we can actually see how Joe, who's the junior pharmacist, can actually report a certain medicine as it's incorrect. So first off, I'll show you an example when an incorrect medicine is dispensed. So you can just select incorrect medicine. Then you can actually search for patient. So if we look for Kathy, we've got all the Kathys in the system. You can select Kathy Hawkins, and we can see the prescription history. Now, let's say we want, as it's an incorrect medicine, we can look at the prescription, and we can say, okay, it is this one. In a situation where it's not there, you can actually say it's a different medicine, and you can actually then search from a list, or do a search as well for a specific medicine. So once you've selected a specific medicine, you can then search for the incorrect medicine, and that can also be searched for or in a pre-populated list. From there, you can then state the branch. Also, if this prescription was dispensed at a different branch to the one on the list, you can actually search from a list as well. And then it also asks you whether the complaint was made by the patient. In this case, it is. You can write any notes. Incorrect script. And you can say the reason as well. So, what sources. From there you can then go to the next page, and you can see it shows you all the information of the patient and whether the patient has been notified. In this case, because they've come up with the complaint themselves, they have been. You can go next. It tells you that email has been sent to Boy Lake Branch and to Kathy Hawkins. It gives us all the information, including the fact that they've made a complaint and any notes. And just to show you how we can actually see what this email will look like, I've sent it to myself on this demo, and this can be structured in a slightly more readable fashion, but this just shows you the basic information, so which medicine, which branch, all the information needed is there. So that's the first case. Now if we have a near miss, as it were, so we can go back into the system. So we can go back into the system and look at a situation where it's a nearly incorrect medicine, so it's a near miss, nearly a near miss. So as soon as we click on nearly incorrect medicine, we can then look at a situation why the mistake was nearly made, so whether the packaging looks the same or cannot make out the GP's handwriting. So we can say packaging looks the same. We can search for the patient again, Kathy, and keep to Kathy Hawkins. Select the medicine, and this is the type of similar package as well. So when we selected nearly incorrect medicine, we got a new attribute container refreshed onto the page, and we can then look for that similar medicine. If in this case it was a different branch, we can actually search for a different branch. We can say it's in Barham. Did the patient file a complaint? We could say because it's a near miss, they're happy because they didn't actually receive the wrong medicine. And go into the next page. And we can see again all the information, and in this case it's only sent to Barham branch, and receive an email of similar type with all the information, so the type of medicines involved and the branch and all the information necessary. So finally, I'd like to show you how we can actually also have a back office staff involved as well. So now we can look at how we can actually report on these issues. So in this case, Jane, who's a analyst even, wants to inspect the day's issues. She opens the report and is presented with an overview of cells and issues. And the system notes that an alarming number of issues that have been filed for a certain type of flu medicine. So Jane looks into the problem and discovers that most issues were filed to suggest that the packaging of two similar medicines were similar. So the system presents her with the contact details of the manufacturer, and Jane decides to call them to resolve this issue. So after the issue was resolved, Jane logs the situation into the system. So let's go back into Aquima and show you how this can be done. So if we go into reporting and show you an example how this can be done. So we can select the month that we're concerned about. So we can say for May 2011, and it can then show you how many complaints were made. So there were 7 complaints, 5 incorrect medicines, 9 nearly incorrect medicines, and then you can see most reported on medicines, and you can see that Seroquel has been reported on 4 times, and that gives you a high risk. So we can then inspect this particular medicine, and it gives you a list of all the issues, the date, the branch, and the issue. And you can also inspect one of these as well. So let's say on the 2nd of May an incorrect medicine was dispensed. You can see that date, the issue, the patient, the prescription and the branch are all there to inspect. And you can also view this information of the issues in several different ways, so in pie chart form, bar chart form as well. It gives you a lot of options in that regard. So that's the example I wanted to show you on how you can actually report on prescription issues in a pharmacy.